to understand the hidden knowledge of Holy Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Holy Four Vedas, Holy Quran Sharif, Holy Bible, Holy Guru Granth Sahib, Kabir Sahib's speeches. To unravel all these mystical secrets, must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
Ignorant blind people worship them, Brahmaji, Vishnuji, Shivji. As you were just told, the evidence was shown in Shiv Puran that this Kal tells to Brahma and Vishnu that you are not God. You did very wrong by considering yourself as master, revered. To remove your arrogance, I have come to this battlefield. And God is also telling the same 600 years ago. He used to say that is present in our holy scripture. So God is Kabir, who never read Puranas and Vedas because he was illiterate as we. And you used to say, still he gave knowledge of Vedas, Puranas, so he is God.
गुण तीनों की भक्ति में ये भूल पड़ो संसारे, कह कबीर निज नाम बिना भाई कैसे उतरे पार। तीनों देव और अवतारा ताको बजे सकल संसारा, अकाल पुरुष का हो नहीं चिन्हा, काल पाए सभी गैलीन।
No one attained Akal Purush. Everyone has believed this Kal to be God. Brahma is God, is everything.
ब्रह्म काल सकल जग जाने, आदि ब्रह्म को ना पहचाने। तीन देव और अवतारा ताको बजे सकल संसारा, गुण तीनों का ये विस्तारा, धर्मदास मैं कहूँ पुकारा। गुण तीनों की भक्ति में ये भूल पड़ो संसार, कह कबीर निज नाम बिना कैसे उतर पारो।
Now God narrated this entire story to Dharamdas ji and gave this knowledge. By souls, folklore within us has entered so deep after listening to so much knowledge. God told evidence. It has been written in Shiv Puran, this is written in Vishnu Puran. Now there is not much time. The servant would have shown you, we'll see in evening. This legend had been heard since ages. Dharamdas ji said, God, there is one request. God said, tell brother, what is your request? Oh God, well, whatever you will say will be correct. But there is hurly-burly in my mind. If you grant permission, then I may resolve my doubt. God said, tell brother, ask. Dharamdas ji said that God, you say that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh cannot do anything. Once Shri Krishna cut Mordhwaj's son, Tamdhwaj, with a ripper and then made him alive. God said, brother, tell me one thing. He was the same Lord Krishna. His real nephew Abhimanyu died in the Mahabharat war in Chakravyuh. Then Lord Shri Krishna could not restore him. Now Dharamdas ji stares like this. Yes, this is true. God said. Well, Subhadra cries. Shri Krishna's sister, whose son he was, Shri Krishna cries that the nephew is dead. The clan of 5 Pandavas was destroying. Why did not Shri Krishna make him alive? If he was capable. Now Dharamdas's face remained twisted because we had heard one-sided knowledge. Then God said, now I will tell why he could not do it. That Tamardhwaj's age was left, son. And they have some power, accomplishment that they can fix chopped body. Even Gorakhnath ji had power. Even he has accomplishments. And he can make such chopped ones alive but cannot increase the age. Abhimanyu's past rights were to die in Chakravyuh. His life was not left. Therefore Shri Krishna could not do anything. Then where was he capable? And it has been written in Vedas that God increases the age of his seeker. Shri Krishna could not increase age, hence he was not God. Rigved Mandal number 10, Sukta number 161, in Mantra number 2, it has been clarified that if a devotee has died, then God can make him alive till the age of even 100 years. In Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 82, in Mantra number 2, also it has been clarified that God increases the age of his devotee seeker. Now Dharamdas thought, then questioned, O God, you are saying correct, but my mind could not believe this. I am unable to believe because since ages we have heard from lakhs of people, Krishna is God, Krishna is God. God said, if you do not believe, then go to hell. God immediately disappeared. So much has been said, yet he is stubborn, that fool. God immediately disappeared. Then Dharamdas's heart broke and he started crying. He says, O God, I am mistaken. I am such low. O God, I am a sinner soul. Give me audience again. I will never ever argue. God used to say that argument should be done, but there is a limit to arguments. When everything is told, evidence has been given, then you say, I do not agree, then drown in well. If you don't like. Now what is said, when Dharamdas ji saw this time, God got much annoyed and he will never meet me. Tears in eyes, he cries badly as a child cries, whose both mother and father die. As is the small child, he cries like this, hiding his face. He looks up at times and looks here and sees like this in case he is hiding at my back. Now he has left Vrindavan also. From Vrindavan, then they go to Barsana. Mathura to Vrindavan, they surely go from Vrindavan to Barsana. Radha ji was from Barsana, and recommendation from Radha ji has to be made. Then Sri Krishna is met. Damn it, what folk tales have been made. Now neither there is Radha ji nor Krishna ji. If by Radha ji's recommendation Krishna ji is met, then they will attain death. They too suffer the punishment of their karmas. They could not get rid of their sins, teen tap curse. So how will he release others? As Sri Vishnu ji aka Sri Krishna ji, called Krishna ji or Vishnu ji. Vishnu ji was cursed by Narad ji. His face was fixed, that of a monkey. That you will spend one life in the separation of your wife. He could not even cut that curse. He had to bear it in the entire life. Then in Sri Ram form, Vishnu ji killed Sugriva's brother Bali. He had to suffer that as well in Sri Krishna form. The soul of Bali as a hunter hit an arrow in the feet of Sri Krishna ji, poisonous arrow, and Lord Sri Krishna died. In this way, even after understanding this knowledge, you do not agree. Everything is told, yet he says, I could not understand anything. So God adopted a second way. Now God left from there. Dharamdas cries,
तामा रोवत धर्मनि नागर कहाँ गए मेरे सुख के सागर.
pious souls like you are sitting in an AC room and light goes. Then see, the worst condition happens with sweat. Similarly, when God was sitting along with them, there was a special excitement in his soul. There was a separate happiness because it is God's quality that a creature, a person sitting nearby, himself becomes happy. Like near a sandal tree, automatically a fragrance is coming out. Now he again started crying. What does Dharamdas ji say?
त्रिदेवन की महिमा अपारम ये हैं सर्वलोक करतारम.
After listening to the entire knowledge again, he started doing this nonsense.
सुन जिंदा क्यों बात बनावे झूठी कहानी मोए सुनावे. मैं ना बानो बात तुम्हारी ही मैं सेवत हूँ विष्णुनाथ मुरारी. शंकर गौरी गणेश पूजाऊं इनकी सेवा सदा चितलाऊं.
Now God said, do of them I go. Then he understood Oh man, the condition was such like that of one who is sitting in AC room and electricity goes and it closes all around.
तावा रोवत धर्मनि नागर, कहाँ गए मेरे सुख के सागर। तावा लीन भये निर्बानी, मगन रूप साहेब सैलानी।
God immediately disappeared.
तावा रोवत धर्मनि नागर, कहाँ गए मेरे सुख के सागर। अधिक वियोग हुआ हमसे ती, जैसे निर्धन की लुट जा खेती।
As a poor farmer prepares farming with difficulty and some nuisance chap robs it, then he starves for the whole year. He remembers till far that they will die, children will also die. So he says, today I am so troubled, like someone robs the farming of a poor, steals grains. Oh God, I am feeling like this because of your separation.
ऐसा वियोग हुआ हमसे ती, जैसे निर्धन की लुट जा खेती। कल्प करे और मन में रोवे, दसों दिशा को वो मग जोवे।
He weeps and starts moving towards Mathura, no, towards Bandhavgarh.
कल्प करे और मन में रोवे, दसों दिशा को वो मग जोवे।
At times he sees her, at times above. If God is in the sky, has he hidden behind me? Then searches, we are so clumsy, when he was already found, then he lost. Such is our wisdom.
कल्प करे और मन में रोवे, दसों दिशा को वो मग जोवे।
Now what does Dharamdas say?
हम जाने तुम देह स्वरूपा, हमारी बुद्धि अंधगर कूपा।
O God, I had considered you like one similar to our body. Our wisdom is like blind well, Lord. There is no knowledge within us.
हम तो मानुष रूप तुम जान्या, सुन सतगुरु का किया पियाना।
O God, I had considered you to be a human. O God, where have you gone? Tell me once, I will come there. And what does he say?
बेग मिलो कर हूँ अपघाता, मैं ना जीऊं सुनो विधाता।
Either meet me soon, my Lord, and if you will not meet, then I am unable to survive, because I cannot practice this. It is clear it was a waste of time and I did not gain knowledge further. Begi milo, meet me soon. Karhu apghat. If you do not meet, I will commit suicide. I will not survive, God.
अगम ज्ञान कुछ मोहे सुनाया, मैं जीऊं नहीं अवगत राया।
Such knowledge has been narrated, God, now it is not possible to live.
तुम सतगुर अवगत अधिकारी, मैं नहीं जानी लीला थारी। तुम अवगत अविनाशी साई, फिर मोको कब मिलो गुसाई।
Now what happens by souls? Dharamdas ji came to his home crying. Now there was a 6 months time in their pilgrimage, otherwise definitely 2 or 3 months if 1 or 2 pilgrimage is done in one trip. What did his wife see? Amini was the name of the wife of Dharamdas. That devotee had gone with a tour plan of 3 to 4 months and he returned the 10th day. 5 to 7 he returned in 1 week, 10 days. She went near him to know the reason, but Dharamdas ji is crying like a child whose mother and father have died. Tears in eyes, and the whole cloth got wet with tears. He cried badly. He went inside his house and lied facing down and cried badly, loudly, and he wanted to speak, but he could not. His wife thought, what has happened? Devotee has come back. She herself assumed that someone took money from the devotee. They were stolen. It was Amini Devi's nature that Dharamdas ji used to do charity, organize community meals with both hands. ₹10 were to be spent, he used to spend ₹20. Amini used to say that charity should be done within limits and do not donate so much. The children have also been brought up. She used to interfere, so it came to her mind that someone took out his money, therefore Seth Ji is weeping that now he will ask for money. He would want to go back and I will interfere, and it is said if there is no in righteousness, then it isn't fruitful. He might be crying in this sorrow. So, from that point of view, consoling him, she says to Dharamdas Ji, Seth Ji, do not cry. It seems someone has stolen your money. You do not have money for traveling, and how much has God given you? You take as much money. Not to worry, God will give us more. Thieves only steal, they are finished. You take money, more money, I will not refuse. Now Dharamdas Ji wanted to speak but could not speak. He was crying so badly because pious souls who wanted God, and God came and went, and he did nuisance twice. Now he does not have hope that God will come again. I'm such a wicked person. In the discussion of 2-3 days, it was clear that human life is only obtained to attain God. Also past rights dominate. Now gathering courage, Dharamdas, while crying, said that, Amni, if my materialistic wealth would have been destroyed, then no big deal, I would have requested you and would have taken more. Today that wealth of mine has been stolen, which will never be found. And if it's not found, I cannot live. Then Amni asked, which wealth has been stolen? Dharamdas, while crying, narrated the whole story. He was God. Like this, on the basis of my wrong knowledge, I cheated God. The entire knowledge is correct. The soul agrees, but the mind does not agree. And therefore, I'm crying that now God will not be found, and this knowledge isn't worth 1 penny that we had. This devotion is not correct, and I did not get that devotion. How do I live? Now, Amni Devi was intelligent. She said, you being a businessman, a millionaire, missed the deal. Did we have a relationship with Ramakrishna? We heard their knowledge as well. Listening to their knowledge only, we got fascinated by them, and God narrated such wonderful knowledge. How did you miss it? Then Dharamdas Ji says that first time in life it's the loss in deal. I had never missed a deal till today. Therefore I'm crying that I missed, and now this deal, this loss will not be recovered. I will not be able to survive. Amni also started crying that devotee's condition is the worst. Like this, 6 months passed. Dharamdas Ji would hardly eat any food, and he used to look like Bhilini used to sit staring and waiting for Sri Ram. He left all work and used to sit outside his house. Everyone used to have a veranda and used to sit there in the shade. He used to sit there and watch like this. If any sages or saints are seen, he used to run bare feet and sees, no, he is not him. Then he got to know a saint had come into the jungle. He is nice, renowned. Dharamdas Ji went there, greeted, saluted and sat. Now he knows that God comes changing form. He used to discuss with them, who is the mother and father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, to check if he would be God, then he would speak the same. If he is fake, then he will be identified with his speech. Now that person started saying that they are eternal, immortal, all in all Maheshwar. Dharamdas Ji understood, no, he is not the right one. He stood and came back saying that he is not God, he talks nonsense. In this way he spent 6 months. Now, when 6 months were spent, then God inspired his wife. Amni said, devotee, your condition is worst. And if you will die, then I will also die. You are living like this, you do not have much time. Now tell me, God would have said something else also, that brother, how would he meet? Some talk would have started in discussion. Then Dharamdas Ji remembered that God tells like this,
जा जन की महिमा सुनो ताम गवन करन थे, वो तो नगर अमाने हैं जा मेरे प्यारे संत थे.
Like in Rigved Mandal number 9, Suk number 86 and mantra number 26-27, it has been said that God resides in third abode and comes walking from there and reaches to the religious sacrifice of devotee. with the speed of electricity, like a dynamic substance reaches within seconds, meaning where there are religious community meals, their God surely resides secretly, maybe in the form of a devotee. Else the skull would set fire and does not let it happen anywhere. So, pious souls, God wanted that the faith in God should remain till the third phase of Kali Yuga, and they should remain desiring God, because this is the time to attain God, attain salvation. God had to drag this devotion till here. So Dharamdas said that God was telling, wherever there are community meals, I surely come everywhere and impart knowledge to everyone. His wife said, you have a lot of money, so much wealth, you organize community meals. Maybe God might come. She said for one day. Dharamdas kept it for 3 days and sent the messages to all sages and saints. Now, Bhandara has started. The first day, all sages, saints, devotees had food and left, but Dharamdas saw that God did not come. The second day also it was organized, everyone ate and left, but God did not come. The third day he saw God was not there. It was an afternoon community meal is going on. A few devotees, saints were left to eat. Then Dharamdas thought within that God did not come. Oh God, if today you won't give audience, then further your servant will not survive. I will commit suicide. Now I cannot live, God, with which desire shall I live? I cannot do that devotion which I used to do earlier. It isn't even of 1 penny, and the real one is not obtained. He cried from within soul. He decided in mind that let me free them all, then I will commit suicide. He knows everything and does not take so long. It is said,
वही जंदे का बदन शरीरम बैठे कदम वृक्ष के तीरम.
hey, hey, what did he see? In a few minutes there was a kadam tree, 100 feet near. God was seated under it in Jinda Mahatma form. Dharamdas ji saw and ran barefoot and saw like this. Yes, he is the same. He prostrated and hugged and said, God, do not leave this time. He hugged God tightly. God said, Dharamdas, get free from all of them. Let these fakes leave, else I will preach you and they will confuse you that no, it's not like this. He lies, let them go, then I will tell you a real story. He relieved all of them and took God in the house. He tells his wife, Amni, come, I have got the wealth today. I found that lost wealth. Dharamdas ji held one leg, Amni ji held one leg of God, and both sat and started crying. Amni ji said, God, your child is a humble soul, is a modest person, and you troubled him for 6 months. God, I kept consoling him, else he would have died. You shouldn't have done like this. God said, daughter Amni Devi, he got worthless due to ignorance. As the iron is heated fully, and if then it is hit, then the device tool that has to be made, the instrument is made, and unless the iron is not hot, no matter if it is hit, nothing happens. So, daughter, in 6 months his iron is heated. I have given him heat. Now he will agree to everything I will say, otherwise he was becoming the lawyer of Kal. Daughter, I was with him. I wouldn't have let him die. It is said,
गुरु कुमार शिष कुंभ है ये गड़गड़ का डे खोटे अंदर हाथ सहारा दे के ऊपर मारे चोटे.
like there is a potter's delicate vessel, it is said God is like such a potter and you are like a vessel of raw mud. First the potter puts hand below by tying a cloth, and with hand below and above he does like this, pat pat pat. And if hand is not below and if he does like this, then it will cross, pat pat. So God says, if I put a hand for you below and then I give you some trouble so that your defects are set, the vices within you should be fixed. Like if the potter does not make vessel properly, and if even a little bit curve is there in it, then it will not be sold of even 1 penny. So God says, if there is some trouble to you in this path, then consider it is to be God given. God himself tells that,
तुक्के माथर माथे पत्थर पड़ो नाम हृदय ते जा बलिहारी उस दुख के जो पल पल नाम रटावे.
God says that, O God, demand this from God. O God, do not give us such comfort with which you are forgotten. Let fire set to such happiness with which God's name is forgotten. O God, that sorrow is good due to which your name is remembered every moment. You may keep giving such trouble, God, with which your remembrance remains. Then God again narrated creation of the universe to Dharamdas ji, and Amni ji both took initiation. Now Dharamdas ji said, God, shall I tell one thing? Yes, brother, tell. What to do with this mind? He said, God, where is your Satlok? I have never heard and seen, and God also wanted to make witnesses. God said, it's okay, brother, you do devotion and nothing. I will come again, then I will tell. One day, God appeared there and was visible to Dharamdas ji and said, come Dharamdas, let me show you my world. Where is Satlok? He took him. On the other side, he fainted. Now Dharamdas remained unconscious for 3 days. Amni Devi saw my husband had died, created an outcry, relatives came, but he was not dead. Pulse is checked, it is running, he is lying unconscious. On the other side, God showed him all the world, showed the world of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, then showed Satlok. There he saw God. God himself has gone below and saw there that below is dirt where we were loving. That is absolutely the worst world. One should not go to such a dirty world. He saw there, met with those souls from whom we were separated and came here. Then all confusion, wanderings of Dharamdas ji, all the doubts were resolved. Then he said like this, O God, do not send me back there, Lord. God, keep me here. I do not want anything there. Then God said, brother, I cannot keep you like this, child. You go, I will be with you. I live there in Kashi as a weaver, in the form of a weaver, and I am the adopted son of Niru Nima and work there as a weaver. You come there. Further, I will give you Satnam, Sarnam, and you can return after doing devotion. You went from here being equipped with devotion. You destroyed that devotional wealth in the heaven, great heaven of Kal. Now, get charged with devotional earnings. I will give you such a mantra that in one chanting of it through breath, you will have a lot of earning. It is said that
नाम पालड़ रंग होरी हो 14 लोक चढ़ावे राम रंग होरी हो 3 लोक पासंग धरे रंग होरी हो तो ना तुले तुलाया राम रंग होरी हो.
one chanting of Satnam through exhale, inhale is so valuable that keep these 3 heaven, Hades and earth as said as equipoise. These are not even required. This much is not the value and weigh 14 worlds, Vishnu Lok, Shiv Lok, world of Dharamraj, Shankarji's world, Brahmalok, and all these 14 worlds, it is said, to keep them on one side, keep on one side the earnings through breath chanting of Satnam, and on one side this entire universe is. It is said, yet that scale will be heavy chanting of Satnam. God says,
कहता हूँ कहीं जात हूँ कहूँ बजा कर ढोल श्वास जो खाली जाता है ये 3 लोक का मोल.
So, pious soul, see how much wealth you have to accumulate. How rich were we of devotion.
मेरे हंसा भाई हंस रूप था जब तू आया. मेरे हंसा भाई हंस रूप था जब तू आया. अपना स्वरूप भूल में भूला तू ताते जीव कहाया. मेरे हंसा भाई.
When you came from Satlok, you were full of devotion. Now you have become a pauper. Now become the same millionaire so that you may get a permanent place there. In Gita Ji chapter 8 verse 5 and 7 knowledge giver of Gita says that if you will worship me, then you will attain me. And if you will do devotion of that God, Paramakshar Brahma, then take that 3-word mantra from enlightened saint and practice. With the power of that devotion, meaning with the earnings of that devotion, you will go to that God. Then Dharamdas ji says,
मत भेजो महाराज यम की नगरी है मोहे राख लियो महाराज हमसे बिगड़ी है मोहे राख लियो महाराज हमसे बिगड़ी है.
after going there, it was known what crime we had committed, how did we fall in that hell, how we trapped in the web of Kal. We forgot our God and liked him. He says, keep me here, God, we have been mistaken. We had committed a great mistake, and that is the world of Kal. God, do not send me. Lord, that is Kal's world. Coming down from there, the heart trembles, seeing like this, because eyes open upon reaching there. It is the divine vision. Yet God said, son, you go. I'll be with you. Then you come to Kashi. I will meet you there. Then what happened? He remained unconscious for 3 days. There was outcry, and then he became conscious all of a sudden. And while getting up, he said, where has God gone? Where is God? Then he narrated the entire story. Now it was not the dream, because everyone was sitting and crying. Then Dharamdas ji said, God, you have come. I will come to Banaras and I will find God. So he went to Kashi and saw God. There was no end of happiness. Hail Satguru Dev! Supreme Father, complete Brahma, creator of entire universes, Lord of the lineage, Kabir Dev Ji, Kabir Sahib. He is the originator of all of the souls. He is the father of all of us. We are trapped here in the web of Kal. We do not know about our native place. That God shows pity on us, showers mercy. He walks from his Satlok and comes to this world of Kal and provides us information about our place of origin, makes us familiar with his glory. On that same occasion, a 5-day gathering is going on in the Barwala ashram. Those are pious souls who have come in this discourse, or this discourse is available to them to listen. If there is discourse in world, then it is in Barwala ashram. Rest all give nonsense knowledge. There is no base of their discourse. They have kept the innocent souls behind them on the basis of cleverness. You are fortunate that you have got the real knowledge and scriptures-based worship. Now you have to see who is walking with speed on this path. This is only the way. Before this, we were wandering on the wrong path. This is the right path, true worship. Whoever will do more here will walk speedily, meaning will do more chanting, serve, donate, do devotion, service, will reach soon near the God. All holy scriptures provide evidence that God's name is Kabir. He resides in Satlok, and walking from there himself with speed, that God comes here with body and goes with body. Pious souls, pious for Vedas and Suksham Ved given by the God. Pious Srimad Bhagavad Gita clarifies that God, complete Brahma, should be worshipped. Salvation will only be attained with him. He is our master. He is the destroyer of sins. He is only worshipable as revered. By souls, it has been 4 days of this discourse gathering, and I have not been able to tell you even a bit of God's glory. Spectacles of God. Today I will tell you God's glory. Well, these were also spectacles. But in Kali Yuga, what other divine plays did God do which God used to do? By souls we used to believe Sri Ram, Sri Krishna Ji, Sri Vishnu Ji, call Sri Ram or call Sri Vishnu Ji or call Sri Krishna Ji, and Lord Shankar Ji, and other divinities. On what basis did we believed? On the basis of hearsay and some bases their spectacles. Like God is compared from holy scriptures. His information is through scriptures, and comparison wise, when we will compare these gods with each other, then it will be decided. Like, we used to hear that Lord Sri Krishna Ji ate 2 fistfuls of roasted rice of Sudama Ji and created a beautiful bungalow for him and gave him money. His survival in that life happened well. By souls, it is to observe that as Sudama Ji was a Brahman and was very poor, was absolutely a pauper, and Lord Sri Krishna and Sudama Ji used to study in the same school. Growing up, Sri Krishna became the king of Dwarka. Sudama Ji was surviving as poor. The situation was such that many times the children used to sleep hungry. Sudama Ji's wife used to tell many times that you yourself tell that Lord Sri Krishna Ji is my friend and is the king of Dwarka. Ask for some money from him. Sudama Ji used to say Brahman's job is not to ask for money. Holy scriptures also tell the same.
जो मांगे सो बढ़वा कहिए, दर दर फिरे अज्ञानी, और जोगी जोग संपूर्ण जिसका, जो मांगना पीवे पानी। नट पेरना कंदर सासी मांगते हैं बठियारे, और जिनकी लो लागे सतगुरु में, वो तो मोती देवे उदारे।
Yet his wife compared much and he started walking, wearing torn clothes. Now when he reached Dwarka to Sri Krishna Ji, Sri Krishna Ji said, because like they used to go to relatives, so someone used to carry barfi, some carry laddu. Earlier they used to carry roasted wheat. There was no other arrangement. His wife roasted some rice and gave it to him. Now Sri Krishna Ji said, brother, have you brought something for me? He hid that bundle. What to show? Lord Sri Krishna saw that and ate it. Sri Krishna Ji asked, what is your arrangement? Is your family all right? Then Sudama Ji said, God, by your grace, there is no shortage of anything. Now on the other side, Sri Krishna Ji saw torn clothes. He understood that it was all messed up, but he is a great soul. He will not say anything. On the other side, Sri Krishna Ji called his engineer Vishwakarma and got a bungalow built for Sudama Ji. He kept Sudama Ji for 5 to 7 days Now he himself used to wash his friends' feet, made him wear clean clothes, nice clothes. And he started to leave on the seventh, eighth day. Then Sudamaji said, "Well, friend, I leave now. Fine, you may leave." Now, on the way, a defect came in Sudamaji that I saw my friend. He could not even see my condition. What is my condition? And asks me, "Are you all right?" Can't he see meaning? A little defect came in him because this mind is a master. In the meantime, what happened? He was wearing new clothes. On the way, the robbers thought he was a millionaire and took out his clothes and left him in an underwear. Now he started walking from there in his underwear and cursing Sri Krishna that I saw a friend, and asks me, "Is everything all right?" My condition was visible ahead. Now the point is that, not to exaggerate much, reaching there he got shocked to see a bungalow in place of a hut, and on the basis we believed Sri Krishna ji to be God. By souls, such a support even a minister can give to his friend. Now the ministers of Kali can give support. They may allot a nice plot in some nice sector and can build a house. No big deal. Has salvation been attained with this? Did he got rid of birth and death? Now I will tell you a comparison similar to this. Once there was a Muslim blacksmith named Temu Lang. Two were there, mother and a son. Father had died. They were very poor. What he used to do, he used to take sheep, goats of millionaires in the forest to graze, and for that they used to give him grains in a year or 6 months. Earlier, this used to happen. In the evening, he used to leave their goats in their house and used to do overtime in the blacksmith's workshop. He used to do overtime service of hammering in the blacksmith's workshop on forge. He also used to give him some remuneration part-time. His mother was very religious. If some guest used to come at their door, then she would not let him leave without having food. She used to request that eat food. She was a nice, noble sister. One day what happened that Taimur Lang was grazing sheep, goats in the jungle. He had eaten food, 2 pieces of bread as had been taken from home. He had eaten food at the same time, God acquiring a Jinda Mahatma form, a sage form, means as our Muslim fakir. Jinda came and stood beside Taimur Lang. Taimur Lang said, "Great man, I just had food and you tell me if you want to have food." God said, "Well, brother, I'm hungry." He said, "You're hungry? God, you sit here. My village is nearby and my home is near, and I will just bring food." And along with he also requested that, "Oh great man, kindly look after these sheep and goats. They should not be lost. We are very poor people. If 1 or 2 goats are lost, then we will not be able to pay the cost." God said, "I will take good care, you go." He came running and said to his mother, because as the child sees in his house, his thoughts become like that. He said to his mother that, "Mother, a great man has come, a saint fakir, and he wants food." There was only flour for 2 pieces of bread. His mother immediately cooked 2 pieces of bread and took a vessel of water in the hand. The mother said, "Son, why did you leave goats alone and come? If even 1 or 2 goats are lost, then we will not be able to pay the cost." He said, "Mother, I have prayed to the great man that please take care." He was saying, "Son, I will take good care." The mother thought, "Let me also come. I will have an audience of great men, and while returning, I will bring back this vessel." Now, when she reached there, the great man was sitting, God was seated. The mother kept a bread and water vessel in front and said, "Great man, we are very poor. Maharaj, bless us so that we may have some money." God started eating food. God ate 1 bread in the meantime. The mother requested 6 times, "Oh God, we are very poor. Oh God, we do not even get bread many times. Have mercy. Bless us." After God ate food and drank water, like there is an iron chain to tie the goats, even cows and buffaloes are tied. A thin one is for goats. The chain is made up of very thin wires. He took that chain and folded it 4 times. It became this much and stood up and beat at the back of San Rampal like this 7 times. 1, 2, 3, beat 7 times, and then kicked and punched. The mother thought, "It seems this great man got annoyed, or he is mental. Tell unnecessary he beats my son." Then the mother said, "Great man, has my done something wrong?" God said, "Mother, your son has been given the rule of 7 generations." God said, "You have been given rule for 7 generations. The 7 times this chain is hit and then kicked and punched. After that, your rule will be divided into 7 pieces. Paisol's Temurlang's grandson was Babar, and from him till Aurangzeb, 7 generations ruled Delhi. After Aurangzeb, then their kingdom fragmented into small areas. History witnesses this. Now, pious souls, what happened? The mother thought he was truly a mad man. He is talking about such a thing. You have been given the rule of 7 generations. The food is not available on time. It was nothing. She came back home quietly. Now what happened? What did Temurlang saw after a few days? That the king of that area used to do a lot of nuisance. Whichever girl in the village was beautiful and young, he used to get her kidnapped through his servants, because there used to be informers in every village. They used to indicate, and his soldiers used to kidnap. Similarly, a young girl of that village was bringing fodder from the fields for animals. Temurlang was grazing goats, sheep there. In the meanwhile, the servants of that king were forcibly trying to put one girl of that village on the vehicle over horses. She shouted, "Brother Temur, come." "Well, brother Temur, save me." Now the shepherds have stick. He tied a cloth on head and took a rod and ran. Mattai mat. He broke leg of many soldiers. They were many, so they beat Temurlang so much and left him dead. He was blessed by the god, so he became alive, and village people brought him home. He got cured in a few days. Now a thought arose in his mind that, O God, I may become a king and should set this cruel king right. He is insulting our sisters, daughters. This aching developed in him. With this intention, what he did? One day God appeared to Taimur Lang in a dream like Jinda Mahatma and said, Son, where you work part-time in the workshop of a blacksmith, you go to hit with a hammer, you purchase that. Beneath it, a huge treasure is buried. Diamond, emerald, jewels and gold coins. There is so much treasure buried. He said to God in a dream, he said, God, how we will purchase? We do not have money. God said, you discuss with him and take on loan. He will give. It is said, when God blesses, he runs remote on both the sides. He woke up in the morning and told his mother that dream, that mother, that same great man was seen and was saying that you purchased that iron workshop. And the same night God appeared to his mother also. His mother also said, Son, even I remember the dream a little bit. The same God, saint, fakir was seen. But son, I could not understand. I do not remember what all he said. Taimur Lang said, I remember everything. So she said, Son, who will give us that iron workshop? The iron workshop was 20, 30, 50 yards. So how will he give us? We do not have money. Then Taimur Lang said that, Mother, great man was saying that once you start a discussion. Mother said, Son, see, talk to get a loan. On the other side, God inspired that workshop owner, the blacksmith, that this place is less and he has a plot outside at a little distance that was big. There is a crowd here, and if someone purchases this place, then I will even give on loan. Maybe he may pay money in 1 year. Now Taimur Lang went and requested to blacksmith and discussed everything. That blacksmith said, Brother, I will give you along with this forge. Now Taimur Lang has requested the same, that if you give me along with forge, then I will also manage my living. He said, I will give along with forge because that forge was getting old. He thought about purchasing a new forge. All this is God's blessing. When God sets work, he plays role both the sides. So he asked, Brother, in how much time will you pay money? Taimur Lang said, I will give all your money in 1 year. The owner said, if you will not give money in 1 year, then what will happen? He himself said, I will take back the workshop along with the entire stuff. Taimur Lang said, you may take in writing, it was promised. Well, okay. He emptied that place in 1-2 days. And God again told him in dream that do not spend all this money immediately. Do not let anyone know this. Use it slowly. So according to God's instructions, first he built a high mud wall all around. When he dug, he saw truly there was lot of coins gold and lot of stuff. Now he remembered that thing that, oh God, I may become a king and set these worthless kings right. Now what? He did. First, he bought a few sheeps, goats 20, 30, then he sold them, then he brought 50, 60 and sold them. He again purchased and sold, then common people thought that God had held his hand and he had a huge increase in business. So gradually he showed that he has a lot of profit from business. On the other hand, what did he do? He told the youngster of his city and nearby his village that, like this, the sisters, daughters of our village are insulted. It is a matter of shame to us. And I should become a king, and you become my soldiers. And I have got lot of money in business. I will give you every month a salary of rupees 1. Today it is rupees 50,000, the 1 rupee of that time. So, the young boys gave acceptance and said to keep this a secret. He was a blacksmith, a worker. He installed forge in the jungle. He himself used to make swords and shields and prepared youngsters in thousands and taught them how to use swords and purchased horses. One day in the morning he went to that king and surrounded his fort from all sides and announced that either you surrender or come outside and fight. Now, that king saw noise from all around, saw outcry, saw there was noise. He said to his soldiers that, ministers, see what has happened. The minister said, King, do not know how much the army is. There is no end. God showed him so much army. Thousands of people seem as if 20,000 have come all around. Now who can understand God's spectacle? The minister said, King, to surrender is in our interest. So he lowered his flags as was the signals, and with raised hands all came out. They were arrested and the army was taken under control, seized their weapons, means captured them. Then one day God came in between and told Taimur Lung and his mother, that child, do devotion. He gave them first mantra. He did devotion for a few days, then got occupied in nuisance and quit devotion. His interest was more in the kingdom then. Taimur Lung conquered the second king, means fought and won over him. Then he sent a message to others that I have this much army, either fight or surrender. That scoundrel even came to Delhi and captured it and left one of his servants on Delhi's throne. He appointed his slave king and told him that you will give me this much annual tax. After a few days, his grandson Babar became the king of Delhi. After that, till Aurangzeb 7 generations ruled. Then what happened? After getting the throne, he forgot God. Then again God met him during hunting, and such an incident was done with him in hunting that his horse went too far and died of thirst. Nowhere there was water. He was about to die. God was seen. A sage, a saint was seen. He went there so that maybe he could get water there. Then God appeared in the same form in which he had met on the day when he did not have bread for the evening.
आप सुन रहे थे जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन। अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org। संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है। अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र का पता करने के लिए संपर्क करें 8222880541।